All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what I guess is the second episode of Ringside Renegades. Not quite sure if we're back by popular demand, but...
Did we call it Ringside Renegade?
That's what we call it, yeah.
No, when we did it for Christmas?
I don't know.
No?
Even if we did, those weren't numbered. Those were special bonus episodes, so those didn't really count.
All right.
So the second episode of Ringside Renegades, like I said, I'm not really sure if we're back by popular demand based off of some of the comments that I've seen on the board.
Some haters.
But you know what? Haters,
but we love you. We love them anyway.
Haters are your number one fans.
Yeah. They
So
still
they spend
watch.
the most time watching you so that they can figure out what to hate on you for.
Yep.
We love you, haters.
Mwah.
We are going to talk about the top 10. I believe the question was top 10 greatest of all time, but as you like to do on RSI, we're going to do favorites. That way y'all can't give us boatloads of crap, and I'd say the other word, but the boy's actually awake. That way y'all can't give us boatloads of crap about what is essentially our opinion. Top 10 favorite bands or artists of all time. Ladies first.
First one in no particular order, because that's what I like to do.
That's right. That's her little shtick. Because she's too effing lazy to actually organize it.
I'm a mommy. I'm busy.
Whatever. Yeah, no. I was out here filming and starring in 3 different episodes that ran roughly 45 minutes plus offload time.
I was in the bedroom with the boy.
That's still 45 minutes. The boy was involved.
He
You could
was
have
occupied
organized
with
it.
my computer.
Anyways, go ahead. In no particular order, go ahead.
Aerosmith.
Okay. Why?
It's honestly one of my favorite bands because I grew up listening to them. I think Steven Tyler's gorgeous.
I don't quite know about that. He's fugly.
He's the most sexy, fugly guy I've known.
What about Joey Cass?
Besides Joey Cass. In non-wrestling.
Oh, okay. Aerosmith is a great band. You know, you go back to their early stuff with Dream On, Sweet Emotion, Walk This Way before Run DMC joined them on the track and
but that made
redid
it more awesome.
It exposed them to a new generation of the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, and it helped launch their comeback, which then the remake of Walk This Way, you know, led into Love in an Elevator and
That was an awesome one.
The Other Side, Living on the Edge, Crying, Crazy, Amazing.
I'm so gonna get all these songs in my head and I'm gonna be like,
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. Janie's Got a Gun.
Because I've already got one of them.
You know, Aerosmith is epic. And then, you know, the hype kind of died down from them after that album, Get a Grip, you know, with Crying, Crazy and all that. And then they came back with I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
I love that song.
And Jaded.
Oh.
Yeah, which is like your title track, right? Yeah.
That should be
that's why she picked
song.
them, is because it's Jaded. Yeah.
No.
Because she is a jaded wench when she wants to be. When she wants to be. Notice, she's not denying it. She's not denying it.
That's a true big brother right there.
That's right.
Call me out on camera. God.
Go ahead. Who you got next?
You're gonna totally get me for this one.
I can already see it. Go ahead and say it.
New Kids on the Block.
Go ahead and tell us the reasons. Say your reasons here before I go on to my little thing.
Because I'm a typical teeny bopper. Oh my God, Joey McIntyre is just gorgeous.
When he was 12.
Oh, he's so cute still. Even in his, like, what, 40s now? 30s, 40s?
I don't know if he's that old yet, but...
At least
you know,
30s.
say what you want to say about the New Kids on the Block. You know, and I'm going to lose cool points here because I'm actually going to help you defend them. Say what you want to say about New Kids on the Block, but if there had been no New Kids on the Block, there would have been no NSYNC, there would have been no Backstreet Boys, there would have been no Spice Girls. There
That
damn
would've
sure
been-
wouldn't be no Justin Bieber
Oh,
today.
Jesus.
But the counter argument
Well,
to
that's
that
Usher's
is
fault.
the counter argument to that is had there been no New Edition, had there been no Jackson 5, had there been no Monkees, there would have been no New Kids on the Block.
Had there been no Beatles?
No.
No?
No. The Beatles are actually musicians that played
Weren't they
their own
the first
instruments.
boy
The New
band?
Kids, no. Boy band by definition is a group of guys that get put together to make money. The Monkees are the original boy band.
Okay.
Go ahead, who you got next?
Totally, like, way on the other side of the
Yeah.
music spectrum.
I see it completely. Go ahead, who you got?
Metallica!
Okay. Why?
First actual, like, really kind of band that I actually ever listened to. And it just drew me in. I love their sound. I love everything about them. Just, they're just awesome.
They are, in fact, awesome. They do make my list. I'll get to them a little bit later. So I'll save my speech about Metallica till we get there on my list. But I definitely, it's the first one we've agreed on.
Oh, God.
First one we've agreed on. But again, opinions. Continue.
Even siblings don't have the same opinions.
Continue.
Guns N' Roses.
Okay. Why?
I grew up listening to them again.
Okay.
My dad used to put them on all the time. He'd do it on the guitar all the time, so I kind of just had it in my head.
Okay.
Growing up.
Guns N' Roses is an awesome band. They did not make my list.
I'm actually kind of shocked at that one.
Not really sure why they didn't make my list, but, you know, when you hear my list, I think you'll understand. You know, Guns N' Roses is an awesome band, though. That is the first heavy metal band that my dad allowed me to listen to. He
Really?
saw the album cover with the skulls and everything, and he's like, "You can't listen to them. They're Satanists. They're a demonic band." You know, all that typical type of crap that parents try to feed their kids in the 80s when they're first coming into rock and roll.
Which
It's the
is
same crap.
hilarious,
It's the
because
same crap their dads and moms fed them about Elvis Presley. Okay.
Right?
It's just regurgitated horse pucky. Again, PG the kids up. But I was like, "Dad, how can they be demonic? Listen to this song." And I popped in the tape of Sweet Child of Mine.
Oh, I love that song.
How is this demonic? The
That's one of my
dude is singing
favorites.
about his kid.
Yeah.
Granted, found out later it was actually about his girlfriend at the time, but, you know.
Really? I actually didn't know that.
But, you know, at the time, you know, I'm like 12 years old. The song's about his kid. How is this demonic? Okay, you can listen to that.
Just that one, huh?
So they were the first metal band that my dad let me actually listen to. And, you know, freaking the Use Your Illusion album's epic. November Rain, probably one of the greatest songs in rock music history.
I'll give you that.
But,
I think
you
that's
know,
awesome.
Go ahead.
Studio audience is dumbfounded with you, I guess.
Go ahead.
Pink Floyd.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
I don't need no damn
Why?
How can you not like Pink
Why?
Floyd?
Why Pink Floyd? Let me hear you give your reasons first. And then I will go into my thing.
Because number one, I was in a music video of one of their songs.
Right, but it wasn't them singing it. It was
No,
a modern
but it was a cover of their song.
Yes.
Which I first heard.
Okay.
I didn't just hear the new version of it.
Okay.
I heard their version of it first.
Okay.
And I absolutely love that version.
Okay.
And then that's actually why I did agree to do the video, because I love that version so much.
Okay.
Of Another Brick in the Wall.
Okay.
It's an epic song. Everybody knows it.
So, but you picked them as your greatest bands or artists of all time because of one song?
No, because I think they actually kind of shaped a little bit of, you know, music themselves. I don't think they're well known just because they're Pink Floyd. It's because of what they've done in music.
Okay, you know, to each their own. Pink Floyd, I cannot stand Pink Floyd. Another brick in the wall aside, I can't stand their music. I was forced to sit through The Wall in film class, and about 30 minutes into it, I wanted to slit my eyeballs with razor blades.
Here's the
I
teachers.
would have loved it. Oh my god.
That movie was so horrid.
What about money?
That movie was so horrid.
Mm.
It completely turned me off to anything else Pink Floyd. Now, I will concede the fact that I have always, since I first discovered about it, wanted to watch Dark Side of Oz. The Wizard of Oz with the Dark Side of the Moon album looping, you know, going in the background because it's supposed to all sync up.
Mm.
I've always been curious to see that. Other than that, Pink Floyd can suck a big hairy one as far as I'm concerned.
That's not PG.
Damn.
Continue.
I'm covering my list so you don't look at it.
I'm
He's
sitting
looking.
next to
He's
you. I
in there.
can't help but see it.
He's pulling a Mikey. I love you, Mikey. On the other side of the genre again? Or music, whatever. In sync.
Exit stage right.
That was honestly the first group that I actually ever paid myself to go see. And I've followed them since day one. I actually, the way I got into NSYNC, I was staying at my dad's house and a Disney Channel concert came on, and I thought it was the Backstreet Boys. So I had his girlfriend at the time record it and send it to me at my mom's house because I wasn't going to be there.
And then you found out it wasn't.
And I found out it was NSYNC, and that was their first concert. And I listened to it and I watched it, and I was like, oh, you know what? These guys actually have really good talent. And went to their concert, and just, it blew me away how good these guys were.
Okay.
Then, you know, I kept going to their concerts, and they kept evolving and actually doing more music and doing different kinds of things and, you know, making their own. And they just kind of shocked me, so I was all into them.
Okay.
And then Justin went into his own, you know, single career and blew everybody out of the water there, you know, so of course.
You know, again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't necessarily agree with NSYNC, you know. I will give you the fact that, you know, Justin Timberlake, you know, spawned off from them and is completely blown up into another region of music. And I guess that's the only reason why I could defend them being on your list over like a Backstreet Boys, because like, where's Nick Carter at as a solo? Seriously. And where's Justin Timberlake? Because those two were both the standouts of their respective groups.
They were the youngest ones.
And Justin Timberlake, you know, granted he gave us Nipplegate, but you know, can't really condemn the man for showing us Janet Jackson's titties.
I was babysitting that day with two little girls and had to turn them away from the TV.
Yeah. What has Nick Carter done for us? Seriously. Go ahead.
Alrighty. Next one. Christina Aguilera.
Okay. Why?
She, to me, has always kept it real.
Mm-hmm.
She may not have real parts on her body, but she kept it real about it.
Okay.
She never denied it. She never denied that she wasn't a virgin. She always kept it real. And she's got an amazing voice.
Okay.
Yes, okay, she doesn't have a good memory, but she's got a good voice.
Are you giving me crap?
Yes, I'm giving you shit. And yes, I said that in front of the boy.
See, I've actually been PG.
Because he's given me so much of it. He will not let it die.
The woman forgot the words to the goddamn national anthem.
Now he's gonna cuss because I did it.
Seriously, woman.
I've done
It
it.
wasn't the first time she had ever sung that song.
I've done it. People get nervous.
I will give you Christina Aguilera, because back when she first came out, and again, I'm probably going to lose goal points here, but I was a fan of hers too. When she first came out, I loved me some Christina.
Genie in a Bottle.
What a Girl Wants, I Turn to You.
See,
Especially I Turn to You. I loved that video.
I liked her back then, but I started actually really loving her after, was it Stronger?
Okay.
Because she actually like started gaining little weight and actually not being so anorexic looking.
Yeah.
She started showing little girls that you don't have to be this little skinny blonde girl to be in pop music.
Okay.
You know, so yeah.
Who you got next?
Totally different kind of genre.
It's what you've been doing the whole freaking time, woman. Who have you got now?
Garth Brooks.
Okay. Why?
He was the very first country artist that I ever listened to,
Okay.
and I fell in love with him ever since.
Okay.
I adore him,
Okay.
and I've always wanted to go to a concert of his. Never have. Everybody else in my family and around me has gone to a Garth concert,
Right.
but not me.
Right. Yeah. Kind of with you on that. Garth Brooks, believe it or not, is actually on my list too.
Nice.
He's actually on my list also, and just like I said with Metallica, I will give my reasons when I get there. Who you got next?
Ozzy.
Okay.
I love Ozzy. Can't understand.
Now, are we talking Ozzy?
Black Sabbath.
Okay, I was going to say, are we talking Ozzy solo 1980s to now Ozzy, or are we talking Ozzy era Sabbath Ozzy?
Sabbath.
Okay. So technically we're talking Black Sabbath
Yes,
featuring
but-
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, but
Got it.
I couldn't remember how to spell Sabbath, so I just put Ozzy.
Okay. Just had to make sure we clarified that. Go ahead.
Can't understand word he's saying when he's talking, but for some reason he starts singing. You can't understand it all.
Okay.
Don't get it, but it's beautiful when he
Okay.
does it.
And who do you have there at number one?
Does anybody even have to ask? Seriously?
They do. They don't know you the way we do.
I think they do already.
I know.
Michael Jackson.
Okay. I think this would be a good time to bring our special guest.
Yeah, I think so, since he's kind of a big fan of his anyway.
Gee, I wonder why.
I'm raising the boy right, that's why.
Oh, really?
Dylan!
Come here, buddy. You guys have asked for him, and here he is.
Come here. Come on over here. Say hi to the people. Say hi, people.
Hi, people.
Michael Jackson.
Do you like Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Why do you like Michael Jackson?
Because you play with Mommy on the Wii.
Yeah.
What about Captain EO?
I played the other way too. That's how I am Michael Jackson too. But not the Michael Jackson Wii because we don't have to make.
That's on the Wii.
Like Captain EO.
Captain EO's on the Wii.
No.
Because it's another part of me.
What's your favorite Michael Jackson song, Dylan?
Flower.
Thriller?
Really?
I was saying, you can't
That
freaking watch the video. Alright.
This boy is scared to death of the video every time I put it on, but he begs me to put it on.
Yeah.
But he'll
Sounds
sit
like a
there and
typical
he'll
kid.
run over to this area of the living room and just cower. And then as soon as like Michael turns to himself again, he goes over and is like, "Mommy, can we do it again?"
Typical thrill seeker.
Dylan has thrown his 2 cents regarding Michael Jackson. Why do you love Michael?
Again, I was listening to it before I was even thought of, I think. I was in my mommy's belly when I was listening to Michael. And just I've loved him since day one. I grew up listening to him. My mom actually got me to be a pen pal of him when I was in the hospital.
Okay.
And just...
Did he ever write you back?
I don't remember. I think I was too drugged up to know. Honestly, I
Sounds
don't
alright.
think so, but I don't
I was going
remember.
to say, we're talking about Michael Jackson, kids, drugs. I'm just saying.
I
Not
don't
exactly the
think
best
so.
case scenario.
I honestly don't think so, but you know what? He's such a popular guy
Mama.
that I don't think he would.
Okay.
But I don't care. It's still awesome.
Okay. All right. Now let's get into my list. Why don't you go ahead and come over here, Dylan, before I get into my list. All right. My number 10. I had a different number 10. Then I struck it. And I put this in here. I'm not really sure what inspired me to put this one in at number 10, but growing up, it was always a favorite of mine. Bryan Adams.
He's definitely one of my favorites, but I didn't
Bryan
know.
Adams, I think, is completely underrated and catches a ton of crap.
I agree.
You know, he delivered some great rock songs there in the 80s. Cuts Like a Knife, Summer of '69.
I didn't honestly know that was him.
Yep. And then in the 90s, he made the transition to soundtrack king with Everything I Do It For You from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Have you ever
Oh,
really
that was
loved...
Musketeers.
No.
Huh. I got my old...
Everything I Do, I'll Do It
Movies.
For You was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He did Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman from Don Juan DeMarco. He did
Oh.
All for Love
That's right, okay.
for the Three
I
Musketeers
always get
with
those two
Rod
mixed
Stewart
up.
and Sting.
Oh, such a pretty song. I love that song.
That song is awesome.
I love that movie.
That movie is awesome.
Orange Hero.
You
No,
watch
you
Heroes.
can't watch Heroes. You're too little.
You're silly.
Orange Heroes 4.
No. My number 9 pick is a really, really great... Actually, it is a punk pop band, Green Day.
I don't know why I didn't put that one.
Green
Wow.
Day. I've been a Green Day fan since Dookie. The name of the album, okay? Give me a break here. I didn't come up with the name of it. But
Oh,
Basket
that's-
Case, Long View, Welcome to Paradise, When I Come Around, Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, Minority, 21 Guns, American Idiot,
I love American Idiot.
Know Your Enemy, the song for SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Green Day. You didn't know that, did you, Tater?
You didn't know
We
that?
got Jeff the
your
cameraman
tail?
with a shocked look on his face. He didn't know Your
He
Enemy
is
was Green Day.
pale. I
Boulevard
knew
of
that right
Broken
away.
Dreams.
There's a reason that you two doing the music show and not me, okay?
Boulevard of Broken Dreams, which I came up with my own music video idea for, which didn't come anywhere close to what they had for a music video. My inspiration came from the old portrait called Boulevard of Broken Dreams, the one that's got Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, Bogart, and James Dean in a restaurant together.
Mhm.
My video concept was all four of those people coming to the restaurant, and then Jesus of Suburbia, the main character from the American Idiot album, is the person that snaps that photograph.
Mhm.
And just tying all that imagery into one video. Number 8, Garth Brooks.
Why
I told
is your
you.
reason?
I told you when you were talking about him that I would get to my reasons in a minute. Cover the boy's ears, please. You got him on your... Okay. He did it himself. That makes it even better. Garth Brooks is fucking epic. You can take your hands down. From his debut album to his last album, I do not think I heard a bad song come on the radio with Garth
Nope.
Brooks' voice behind it.
What's your favorite?
My favorite.
Mine's Shameless.
That's really a tough one. I could probably give you a favorite off of every album.
Is your favorite
But I can't give you. I don't think I can give you an all-time favorite.
Famous, huh?
He said shameless, and I started to. I don't think I could give you an all-time favorite.
Cooper, go play.
I would probably have to say it's a close three-way tie between The Dance,
Oh, I love that one.
The Thunder Rolls, the long version with the extra
Thank
verse
you.
where she kills the cheating husband,
Thank you.
and Colin Baton Rouge.
Not Beaches of Cheyenne.
It's the banjo. The banjo on Colin Baton Rouge just kicks ass.
See, I love Beaches of Cheyenne.
Friends
Actually,
in Low
that-
Places.
And Friends of Low Places.
And
Actually,
like
that
you-
would have been my girl's name if I had girls. Cheyenne.
And like you, I've yet to be to one of his concerts. Teresa, my fiance, went with her best friend Rob. My mom got tickets to go see him with my stepdad Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then she won tickets on the radio, so she
didn't
saw
take
him
you for
twice.
that.
She saw him twice
Yeah.
in the same night, and didn't invite her son to come with her to see it.
Bad mommy.
Bad Mama Williams.
So we share that in common too.
Right?
We know people that have been, you know,
See-
and on a similar country tip, we can't cover the boy's ears because he's on the floor. Big F you to Jeff's dad for going to see George Strait. That's the only other country star that I still want to see in concert that I've never seen.
I agree with the F you to that.
I don't know. I kind of, and it's gonna be kind of sad, but I want to see Billy Ray Cyrus.
No. If I'm going to see Billy Ray Cyrus, he's got to have the goddamn mullet.
Yes.
And the daughter.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I want Billy with the mullet if I'm going to actually have to sit through one of his concerts. Number 7,
Frogs to dairy.
Metallica.
There we go. See? That's why we're.
Number 7, Metallica. Metallica.
Ah.
Guns N' Roses may have been the first metal band that my dad let me listen to, but Metallica, Blue Jean are out of the water.
What's your favorite album?
Black Album. It's a cop-out answer, but I can't name a bad song on the Black
Awesome.
Album.
It's an awesome one.
It's the first album of theirs I got. That's why it's my favorite. I had
I
heard
think I got Fuel.
First. One off of Injustice for All before I got the Black Album. But the first album I owned was the Black Album.
I think Injustice was my second one, actually.
Number 6, The Who.
I don't even know why I didn't think that.
The Who.
I picked Pink Floyd, but I can't remember that one. Wow.
The Who is another really, really great 60s, 70s era band. We got freaking Dylan sitting here doing Jack Swagger impressions while we're trying to do real music, not Jim Johnson / Rage Against the Machine knockoff covers. Get out of here, boy. Uncle Mikey might be willing to get upstaged by a 3-year-old, but god damn it, I'm not willing to.
Now you get upstaged by a cripple because of all the haters instead.
Brand new footrest.
Yeah.
So,
He makes a good one.
The Who, and especially their early stuff, like, we're talking the first album with My Generation and, trying
Get
to
out of
think of the
here.
other song. But with My Generation all the way up through, like, Tommy. The Who's Tommy. Everything that came out after Tommy was kind of hit and miss with me. There were good songs, but not great albums type of deal. But The Who definitely ranks on my top 10. Number 5 on my list is another great classic rock band, The Doors.
I don't know why I didn't even do it. Damn it.
I don't know why the stoner didn't come up with the band that did a song called Light My Fire about getting high either, you know.
Crystal Ship.
Crystal Ship I've never really been fond of, but it's really hard to find a Doors song, especially the commercial ones, that are bad.
That's why
You
I
know,
like Crystal Ship,
some
because
of,
I've never heard it before.
some of their other stuff, the more experimental stuff, I guess would be great if you got stoned. But considering I'm not a stoner, I'm straight edge.
I wasn't stoned when I first heard it.
Kind of hard to get into some of those things. But
I actually wasn't stoned when I first heard Crystal Ship. I was in photo class,
okay.
and I did an all slides show to Crystal Ship with photography.
Okay.
I did photography based on the song and based on the genre and everything, and made it all hippie like and
Cool. That
like
actually,
blurred and
okay,
everything.
that makes sense why you'd like that song then. But I mean, Break On Through to the Other Side, Light My Fire, Love Street, People Are Strange.
Oh, that one.
Some of the not as popular ones that I really dig on, 20th Century Fox, off of the debut album, Alabama Bar, Whiskey Song, 5 to 1, Joey Chaos's theme. Jay-Z actually sampled 5 to 1 for one of his rap songs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that. Huh. I don't listen to Jay-Z that much, so.
That just shows you how influential the Doors are. They freaking crossed over to a hip-hop beat.
They're kind of like Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Being that they influenced so many people.
Speaking of people that influenced so many people, number 4,
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Frank fucking Sinatra.
Oh, that's a shocker. I was shocked at that one.
Frank
I didn't think he would
Sinatra
happen.
is quite possibly one of the greatest voices of all time.
Blue eyes.
So, talk about, the greatest bands, artists of all time. Frank fucking Sinatra. And yes, we went from PG to rated R because we got the kid out of the way.
Sorry, but, kids gotta go sometimes.
Exactly. You had to get rid of the star. Can't oversaturate the channel with him, right? Like we do with Jeff.
And me, apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, Frank Sinatra. I mean, oh God, that voice. He has got a great voice, and he's paved the way for many, many crooners that came after him. Even at his own time. Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr., the Rat Pack, and then you've got like Matt Dusk and Michael Bublé today. John Stevens, who was on American Idol.
Which one was that one?
I forget which season it was. I want to say he was on the season. He was either on the season with Carrie or the one with Fantasia. His 16-year-old redhead kid who had that crooner style. And they screwed him royally because the week he got eliminated was supposed to be like classic crooner week, and they switched it to like disco or something at the last minute. And then he got eliminated.
Chicken Little?
I think so. And then the week after he got eliminated, they did crooner.
Oh,
they totally fucked him over on that one. But
that sucks. Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah.
Oh,
Frank
Chicken
Sinatra.
Little. He's so cute.
Gotta love Frankie. Number 3. The last one on my list that we agree on. Michael Jackson.
I give that look to him because he gives me such the amount of shit
I do.
for even talking about Michael anymore.
And let me explain why. I love Michael Jackson. I have loved Michael Jackson for as long as I can remember. Growing up hearing I Want You Back, ABC, I'll Be There, Ben, Rockin' Robin, all those, the Jackson 5 and stuff. And then getting older and hearing Rock With You, Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Say, 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 Bad, Smooth Criminal, Jam, Black or White, etc., etc.,
It goes on and on and on.
My problem with Michael, and the reason I give her massive amounts of shit about Michael, is because from the day he died, radio stations have started beating his shit to death. Like, you would hear 6 songs on a radio station in an hour that were Michael Jackson related. Out of 10 songs. You'd hear, like, it started with ABC. Then you'd hear, you know, Janet and Michael scream.
I love that one.
Then you'd hear some other random song. Then you'd
Earth
hear
song?
like no, then you'd hear some other like random non-Michael song. Then you'd hear like Akon featuring Michael Jackson.
That's an awesome one.
Then you'd hear what's another one? You'd hear like Black or White. So there's 4 songs out of 5. Then you'd hear a couple other random songs. Then you'd hear Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal. Granted, not Michael singing it, but it's a Michael song. It's a cover.
I did not like that cover.
Then you'd hear, you know, Billie Jean. Then you'd hear, etc., etc.
At least it was different
It got
songs.
overplayed. I love Michael. Michael is one of the biggest commercial artists of all time. Hell, the king of pop. His shit was beat to death anyways. But it wasn't that overplayed. Seriously, radio stations and media got it to the point where I did not enjoy hearing Michael music. And it's things like that which are part of why I don't listen to the radios anymore. They take a song and they beat it to death. It's like a 3-year-old. It's like Dylan with Meet the Robinsons right now. Great movie, but he's watched it like every day for a week. Getting tired of it.
He was the one who beat it to death.
Great movie though.
He was the one who beat
Michael
to death.
Michael Jackson's got great songs. But if I have to hear songs every day, Captain EO.
It's adorable.
Captain EO. I'll blame the boy for my dislike of Captain EO now.
You suck.
It's part of why I'm kind of glad he's not in
Sad.
the room right now. I wouldn't want to lay all this guilt onto his little 3-year-old shoulders.
Sure you would.
No, I really wouldn't. I'd kind of feel bad about it.
I'm kidding.
I love Captain EO.
I love it.
When I saw Honey, I Shrunk the Audience at Disneyland, I was like,
What?
get rid of this shit. Bring Captain
Right?
EO back. Then Michael
and
died.
no offense to Jeff's dad, because Jeff's dad helped with that.
Yeah.
But
And then Michael
it's
died.
fucking Captain EO.
And then Michael died. And I was like, watch, they're going to bring Captain EO back.
And they did.
And they did.
And it's
And that was gonna be my thing. Was I was gonna go to Disneyland, and every time I went to Disneyland, I was gonna sit through Captain EO as my tribute to Michael, because I love Captain EO. I love We Are Here to Change the World. I love Another Part of Me. Change the world more than another part of me.
Really? Why?
The message of the song.
Oh, I love the
We are here to change the world.
That's like a
Right there, you
heal the world.
can read into it whatever you want to read into it from there. But Michael and his gang in that movie are there to change the world for the better. But then we got that on DVD.
That was not our fault.
Dylan would watch
That
it
is
3 or 4
your
times
fans.
a day. Dylan would watch it 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Now I sit out when we go to Captain EO. I don't go in.
Yeah, he does.
Because I'm over it. I'm over it.
Because Dylan always begs him to do it with it.
Anyways, let's move on from Michael. Number 2, the Beach Boys.
I know what your number 1 then is.
Number 2, the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys, again, I can't say enough great things about them. The Beach Boys are fucking awesome.
But California didn't beat it to death?
No,
California Adventure, the first thing you listen or hear is the Beach Boys.
not necessarily. They have songs on a loop. You could walk in there and the first thing you hear is California Dreamin', the Mamas and the Papas.
Every time I walk into
You hear
it,
Dean Martin talking about making the San Fernando Valley his home.
Every time I walk into California
You just happen to
Adventure, it's
be
Beach
unlucky
Boys.
then. You know?
They beat that one to death for me.
And again, this is everyone's own opinion. But
It's
it
just
wasn't.
funny
But
that
it wasn't
two
like.
Disney places
But it
did.
wasn't like, you know, Brian Wilson died, and everywhere you went, it's the Beach Boys, the Beach Boys, the Beach Boys.
Just wait.
You know, I would go on the bus, and somebody would be bumping Michael Jackson on their headphones. I would get off the bus and go to 7-Eleven. Michael Jackson would be playing in 7-Eleven. I would walk down the street to work, somebody would be bumping Michael Jackson in their car. I'd get into work, and the prom that I was working that night would be playing Michael Jackson. So it just one of those things where I couldn't escape it. And it's not the same with the Beach Boys. At least not for me anyways. You can escape the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys have their niche time when they're played. Summer. If it's not summertime, you don't hear them beat to death on the radio.
Unless you listen to K-Earth.
K-Earth has enough songs that they don't beat the Beach Boys to death unless it's summertime. Alright, and that brings me to the number one.
Oh, no, I know.
In my opinion, the greatest band or artist of all time, the Beatles. Now, before you sit there and start shaking your head and start finding out and thinking of ways to insult them, keep in mind, not only did I not insult your number one, I even had him on my list, despite the crap that I give you.
Because all in all, you do still like him. I don't.
I think you would. We still haven't found out the
Oh,
truth.
man.
Okay?
Come on.
We made an agreement a few months ago that you were going to come up with a CD, which got an hour and 20 minutes, of non-commercial Michael Jackson songs for me to listen to. And I was going to come up with the same of Beatles songs for you to listen to see if you could appreciate some of the other Beatles songs.
I can't, though, because every song of Michael's is awesome.
My list, every song of the Beatles is awesome. And they had way more albums than Michael did.
But you even said, he did say this, I quote, that you didn't think that every song of Michael's was an awesome song.
Right. But I think that
I've listened to all the albums that you gave me, which I need back, by the way, because of my computer crashing.
Because your computer's foobar.
That's another story. But yeah, I listened to every one of those and did not get bored with one song.
Okay, and that is why he is your favorite. And I can listen to every single Beatles album from start to finish and not get bored. That's why they are my favorite.
But how are we supposed to do this whole, comparison
You pick
when...
the best ones that aren't commercial.
They're all the best ones.
Narrow it down. Something you gotta do, darling. But anyways, the Beatles, back to the topic at hand, getting off our little Michael Beatles debate. The Beatles, in my opinion, changed rock music for all times. They kicked down the doors in 1962, and to this day, they are still quite possibly the most influential artists of all time. Whether you agree with it or you disagree with it. I mean, hell, go backwards on my list. The Beach Boys covered Beatles songs. Michael Jackson covered Beatles songs. Frank Sinatra covered Beatles songs.
I didn't know that one.
He did Something, which was a George Harrison song, and he did Yesterday, which was a Paul song.
Hey! I never knew that.
If Old Blue Eyes can sing it,
I never knew he
gotta
did.
be good.
I want to listen to that one because I love that
If
song.
Old
I
Blue
do
Eyes
actually
can do
like
it.
that song.
If Old Blue Eyes can do it, it's gotta be good. You know? And you get into some of the groups on your list. Guns N' Roses did a cover of Live and Let Die, which granted that was a Paul solo song, but it's still
So it's not
the
the
Beatles.
Beatles.
But it's still Beatles
He was a part
influence.
of the Beatles,
Exactly.
but it's not. It was what was it, Paul?
Yes.
Paul. It was a Paul song. It wasn't
Michael
a
Jackson,
Beatles
your
song.
favorite
I know,
artist
and I was
of all
gonna mention
time,
that.
loved the Beatles song so much that he bought the rights
I was going
to the
to mention
Beatles
it,
catalog. Michael Jackson had John Lennon's youngest son, Sean, in the Moonwalker movie.
I was going to mention it, but he didn't let me. True
The
big
Beatles-
brother right there. Doesn't let his
the
little
Beatles-
sister talk.
The Beatles. You talked for 20 minutes. STFU. Yes, we had to go back to PG. The boys back.
Back and forth, back and forth.
So, that is my top 10 list. You have heard Jade's top 10 list. What do you guys think? You're probably going to flood the comment box with all kinds of stuff anyway.
Whatever.
Let's at least try to keep it topical this time.
Seriously,
Let us know who
give
you
us
think
your pick.
the greatest artists or bands are of all time.
Get off the, hating stuff and
Haters gonna
Focus.
hate. How many times?
focus on the topic at hand. What is your favorite?
Once again, Jade, haters gonna hate. Just let them hate. They are your biggest fan,
Okay, they're my biggest fan, but they all have brains,
supposedly.
so they should be able to just focus and think of their songs or their
For
bands.
Ringside Renegades, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams.
Jade Hogan.
We will maybe
Or
see you next time.
was it She-Man?
She-Male.
She-Male.
And Fat
Jade
Cat.
Hogan, yeah. Peace.